It's fine. It's fine. Here we are, an in-person, 4 people. This is the first.
Yeah.
For a big group. So before we jump into our topic, welcome to Enneagram Adventure. This is Tana and I's podcast where we talk about things through the lens of the Enneagram, life, relationships, growth.
So
What did I miss?
I don't think we missed anything besides a stray curse word and TMI story about my kids usually.
There. Okay. All right. So today, since we have Casey and Laura back, Casey and Laura, do you want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Casey. I'm an 8. I've been on before. I don't know what episode, but talked about all the 8-ness.
And I'm Laura. I'm your resident 6. And I don't know what episode that was, but
It was just pretty early.
I was early. I was in shorts and a t-shirt. We are not in shorts and a t-shirt.
No.
It is a whopping 6 degrees outside in Wisconsin.
How cozy.
Cozy.
Oh, how cozy. It's freezing. It's outside. Today's topic, we're talking about wings. Not of the buffalo variety, but of the... If you think of your number, you have a number on the left side of your number and the right side of your number. So for those of you who don't know a lot about your wing, typically you trend closer to one wing than the other, but that can change over time, just depending on what you're going through, what you grow through, all of those things. So for me as a 2 as an example, I have a wing 3 and a wing 1. I almost said that wrong. Numbers are hard. Math is hard. Anything I missed about wings that you would want to add?
I would just add to the theory of wings. So Tana touched on the theory that 1 is dominant, but depending on if you spend a lot of time reading about Enneagram things, you might have heard theories such as that 1 wing is dominant early in life, and then as you get older, you lean into the other one, and that becomes the dominant one. One theory is that you kind of lean on 1 for your whole life. And then there's another theory that is that you use both of them equally. So I think it just depends on each person. This is a place where there's nuance, right? And maybe it's situational at work. Maybe you lean on 1 wing harder than the other, whereas at home it's different, or family, or how you show up. So just to cover all the different ways that that could work. And I also just want to be very, very clear that your wings are always the 2 numbers on either side of your core number. You can't be a 3-wing 7, for example.
Also, I just did the realization between the 4 of us, we cover every single number with our wings core.
Wow.
I just did that processing.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. We're in Enigma right now.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, Tana and I have told our stories about wings, I think, at least one episode before. But maybe, Laura or Casey, you want to talk about which wing you think is dominant, or which theory you think is the way the wings show up for you.
I mean, I feel like I wing to my 5 more often than 7, just with kind of how I retreat and like go inward. I can't think of a time that like my 7 really ever comes out. I don't know. Do you guys think it comes out of? That's where I'm like,
I disagree, though, because you and I are always like, oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Because but that
I
might be-
guess.
I don't know.
But it's usually like we do it. We're never like sitting there and like, let's go do this. It's like, let's make a plan to go do this because I gotta have the plan to do it.
Do you think that safety is where your 7 comes out? Like if you're more comfortable, you'll see that?
Possibly, yeah. But I gotta feel real safe to be spontaneous and go do things.
Well, you have most likely thought through every scenario as you're on your way to an adventure, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, packing for today, I'm like, okay, I need this and I need this just in case I need that. And then I have this. I put in a second pair of pants. Why?
I saw your bag though. It's cute.
Which one? The Yeti one?
Yeah.
His nobody knows. We had a full-blown multi-faceted
episode?
conversation about a Yeti bag. Yeah.
Oh.
And then she got one.
I actually got 2.
Her blue Yeti bag is large enough that a human can fit inside of it. I don't
nice too.
I don't know why we would need to have a bag large enough to carry a human, but
In case the human can't walk.
Do you know how many times I've used that thing? A lot.
And you can wipe it down.
That's the best. That's the best part. So anyway, I did buy 2 because that color I couldn't find anywhere, so I ordered it like at the same
Are they
time.
the same size?
Yes,
Oh.
but I did keep it because I thought it would be a good
You have
gift.
2 of the same color of the
Yeah.
same size.
Yeah, I thought it would be a good gift. I'm one of those people also that like I'll hoard like toys in a bin in the basement for like, oh, we have a birthday party, no problem. I already have something in the basement, and I'll go like wrap it.
Yeah, you have kids. I don't have that thought process.
Yeah, I just like can't be needing to run to Target to like go buy shit like that. It stresses me out. Because then especially if I bring them, they're like, "Can I get something?" And I'm like, "Shut up. No.
I just have multiple
You're
bags
so
in different sizes.
ungrateful."
And that's why I don't have kids. Okay, Case.
All right. I know in my episode I talked about mine. I am a very dominant 7 wing. Yeah, like for today, this conversation, it was, well, my 8ness knows that I should not overcommit, but my 7ness doesn't want to miss out. So my wing 7 kind of overrode everything here. And then, but at work, my 9 wing comes out because I had a coworker tell me she didn't even know I was an 8 because of how I appear at work. Very like collaborative and peacekeeping and all of the fun stuff. So, yes. Self-res, but also social. They're like very close. Yeah.
the social is part of what drives that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say my work with Brandon, though, I feel like I'm trying to lean more into my 9. So we'll see.
Okay.
I know we've unpacked mine. I think I very much fit into the theory of wings where I was dominant with one wing and then as I've gotten older have moved towards the other. So I know when I was younger, I very heavily leaned into a 6 wing, but now, now that I'm getting old, I can see a lot more of the 4 behavior come through and that sort of thing. So I definitely very much feel that shift, and especially in a reflective, like when I look back, I definitely can see the changes there.
Definitely 3 wing. That's my second highest number in addition to it being a wing, but it's more about like the achievement and like the vanity portion of 3, where I just had this conversation I got lunch with one of my best friends yesterday. She's 6. And we were talking about, she had to bring one of her kiddos with, and she's like, dude, I'm dying. And I'm like, there's a world where like, if I just didn't have kids, I would have become a workaholic. Like I would have just worked until I died. She's like, where does that come from? Like, what's this sense of achievement thing? And I'm like, girl, how much time you got? Like, but it's like that next thing, or like I can even think back to, God, like even in the courting stages with my husband, it was like we moved into an apartment. A year later, we moved into a house. A year later, we were engaged. A year after the wedding, I was pregnant. And then we moved, and then we had another kid, and then I got a new job. And it's always like something else.
Do you feel you've always swung to that wing though?
I would say that when I'm stressed out, I swing because it's more 8, like kind of that control. Like there's definite 1 tendencies where I've been particularly stressed the last couple of weeks. Fun fact, you can always tell by my thumbs. If my thumb skin is like shredded off my hand, I like have been picking at my thumb like incessantly. So the last 2 weeks, I've noticed like I get home and I don't stop like tidying, cleaning, perfecting, like doing things to get me ahead or like to get me to feel better until I literally have to go to sleep. Yeah. I'm exhausted.
Exhausted for you. That sounds tiring. It's exhausting. It's interesting because I'm like trying to think of like if I've more so swung one way. Sorry, that statement was terrible. If I've gone to a certain wing more than another. I don't know. I just always feel like I've been real 5-esque. Maybe in childhood, I was more 7.
Or college.
I was not fun in college.
Hmm.
I was in nursing school, and it was in the Upper Peninsula. It's cold. We don't do fun things.
Well, I mean, I went to school outside the Twin Cities and we did fun things, even though it was cold.
What a time to be alive.
All of the like current trends on like Instagram and things are like the millennials who like walked outside in their Charlotte Russe dress and heels, and now we're dying.
So theme.
It's cold enough here, I put socks on. And those of you that know me, if I have socks on, it's a problem. Good socks.
I don't think that I think in college I probably would have swung a little bit more to my one wing than my 3. Maybe not. As I'm reflecting, it was like I had to pay for college. So I wasn't going to fuck that up. It's like it's on my own dime. I can't screw this up. But like we talked a little bit about the rebellious stage. So several episodes ago, we talked about your stress line and how you could have been showing up like your stress line during like the rebellious stage of your life. I would say that that's definitely true for me. So I don't know if it's more 1 or 3 in that period of time, but what a time to be alive. Like truly the Charlotte Russe, like I'm not wearing a coat, wearing, oh my God.
Wedges. I've seen pictures of those wedges lately.
I had a mustache scarf that was iconic.
And then you wore the necklace.
Oh,
the long
yeah.
necklace and then the scarf.
Like a
But then you
slouchy
didn't have,
hat.
you didn't have sleeves on.
No,
The
no,
scarf kept you warm.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, slouchy hat, like
Yeah, the one that like sat here. And it was
yes,
good.
yeah,
I had like
right
6
here. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I used to make
Ooh.
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those.
No, I was knitting. That was
Oh,
also a
actual
time.
knitting?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever told you that before. I used to knit.
I also used to knit in college. So I was not a 7 in college. I was Mama Casey. I took care of everyone.
Interesting.
And I was not a 7 growing up either. We went on a family vacation when I was like 10 and my mom didn't have a hotel and I kind of like flipped my shit. Yeah, like I literally was in the front seat of my aunt's car refusing to go on this family vacation because my mom did not have a hotel booked. It was great. I now am very like, let's go, let's road trip. But you know, Google kind of helps that out a little bit because you can like search for hotels. But I would say in college though, I was not very much a 7 wing. I was like, okay, we need to do this and this and keep the
Yes.
peace. And I was in a sorority and I was always taking care of everybody. I didn't hardly drink either because, you know, downtown Minneapolis, you got to keep everybody safe. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
When I was a young child, I remember this is like one of the stories that kind of haunts me and my family. We're talking like when soccer, you're still running in a beehive. Like there's no strategy. You're just hoping for the best. And there was a huddle at one point and I told the entire team, I'm like, you guys, we're not playing Barbies anymore. It's time to be tough. And like, I was like a young child and that story still haunts me, but very 3, like very 3 energy. Was not going to lose. Okay. Not going to lose that game.
You can tell that I am a little older than all of you because my college memories of going out are not quite the same. I still wore pants. There was not dresses.
And for mostly optional.
Yeah.
It was more about the glitter, I would say, for me in college.
I'm gonna remember that forever and just like glitter bomb you.
It was, yeah, I would say that part for me, we talked about this, right? For me, that was the stress line. It was the like down for anything, like let's go out, let's go to the dance club, let's this, let's that. But yeah, I was very, very much a jeans girl in that era. Anyway, so not the same there. I do have some very core memories though of like walking home through campus, like in the snow and like, yeah, all of that. Anyway, I think for the wing situation, for me, I don't know that I have like a super situational thing anymore. I'm pretty sure I come come off pretty 5 vibes at work. I think it's more in like nuanced behavior for me versus like how I show up in a place, right? Like what did it take me? 2 months after Taylor Swift released her album to finally actually listen to it because like she was having a moment and I was like, I'm not buying into the whole machine that is Taylor Swift right now. That's like a very 4 thing. So it's like more like about certain things that the 4 really comes out for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think that 3 is very accessible to me at work. You see me in that environment, so you can probably confirm that. But 1 is more so in my personal life than anywhere else. I don't like that's not super accessible to me at work or like really anywhere besides it's super internal. It's like real behavior driven and it can be really confusing because sometimes it feels like a control thing. So it's like 8, but because it shows up most times when I'm stressed out.
Right.
I think I've talked about this many times, but if I can like clean something or do something, like it's something that I have control over, that makes me feel better. So if I'm feeling out of control, generally speaking, I try to control everything that I possibly can.
I feel like my job, I don't go to either. I don't know where I go at work. What's my growth?
6s go to 9.
Yeah, I don't think I. What's your stress?
3.
3?
Could be 3.
Maybe.
I think when I think about the 6 side, I was trying to think if there was in the 6 wing. And if there's a 6, it's not, I guess it would still be behavior. I can spin out usually after the fact about things. I think that's mostly where the 6 will come through. Like if I have a conversation with someone and they don't react maybe the way that I was hoping they would, or if it's I said something that caused a reaction that I didn't expect, or like they didn't take it the way I intended and therefore reacted badly, I can spend a bunch of time like worrying about that, which is kind of the 6 wing behavior coming out of like replaying it over and over and over and over and over and over and like, what if I had said this and what if I had said that and what if I did this differently and what if I did that differently? So I think that's maybe more where the 6 kind of overthinking pattern comes through. But as I've gotten older, that has gotten better.
I've noticed with you that if it's unexpected or overwhelming, you can tend to go a little 6, which is like sometimes my 6 is activated in that moment already in that space with you. And then like I just feed off of it. Like,
So I was going to be like, wait a minute. So this is like a mirror situation.
Yeah.
So you come in all 6 and then I just go right down that road with you.
How 6 can you be?
Tana can be very, very 6. I know we're supposed to be talking about wings. I'm trying to
We
keep us
have
on.
to rabbit hole somewhere.
But because she's thinks like a 6, there are times where I have to be like, okay, 6, we're going to like reel that in right now.
but I have to write.
I'm coming. Well, me to a hole. That's not how it complains.
I have in at least 2 situations when I had chained some weird shit together. And I remember one I texted you the night before and I'm like, something's off. Something's fucking off. And I was mostly right about that.
Mostly.
Not 100%.
But the problem though is when I chain and then I'm right, it like reinforces the chaining. I'm like, yes, your intuition is so right.
I do enjoy that though. Like this will happen at work where I'm like, I'll have a thought or say something and then someone will come back and they're like, you were right. I was like,
Rest my fucking face right in place.
not always right, but I'm right a lot of times.
I think that it's funny because I was like having a moment when I talked to Brandon this week, where I was like, this and this and this is happening. And like, I'm right back in this like situation. And he was like, well, it's because you've gotten like attached to this potential outcome. And now there's like uncertainty, and like that outcome that you thought was going to happen is no longer certain. And so like you're basically spinning out. And like, so there are moments where certain things, and I don't know how much of that was 6, as much of that maybe comes through in how I can get maybe more 8-ish of like, this doesn't make sense. This is out of alignment. This isn't fair, right? Like it gets more like on that side of it. Yeah.
I've definitely, I've seen that with you, but you snap out of it so quickly. Like, you generally do not live there long at all. And if you are living in it for more than a hot second, you're like, I fucking know what the thing is. I'm not ready to fucking talk about it. Because I think you said this yesterday when you talked to Brandon about it. You were like, I'm not fucking ready. I'm not fucking ready. What it reminds me of, it's like it's the Notebook scene where Noah's like, we're right back to that. We're back there.
Every freaking time. It's the same damn story. Like, we'll be going through it. He'll be like, well, and what does that remind you of? And I'll be like, yeah, okay, fine. It's this again. Yes, you're right. It's this again.
It always comes back to something.
It is frustrating though, like when you're working through all that stuff and it's the same shit. You're like, when am I gonna make it through like this thing?
Never. You're never going to make it through that thing. It's just going to be another layer and another layer and another layer. While we're down this rabbit hole, because we've all worked with Brandon, but while we're down this rabbit hole, I haven't asked him this yet, and he doesn't listen to our podcast, so I don't think there's any danger that he'll listen to this and then call me. But like I have been thinking a lot about, as you like process through things and like losing the satisfaction of sitting in the shit.
Mm.
And so there has become, like, this sounds ridiculous to say this out loud, but if you're like doing a lot of this work, and he talks about, right, like coming back to peace and like all of this sort of stuff. And sometimes what I find is like, then there's like a void. Like, then I'm like, well, I like, now there's nothing. Where there was something before, now there is nothing. And I don't always know what to do with that. So it can like make me want to like jump backwards into the shit feelings just for there to be something.
I literally had that thought the other day. I was like, I haven't like spiraled in a while. And I was like,
You did that.
is this it's like to like, oh, okay, cool.
I don't have those thoughts or feelings. But we dealt with it. Move on.
Oh. And then I was like, shit, it's working. Damn it, Brandon.
He did.
So there's that.
Oh my God. I just got a text message that I could fucking crash out about right now too. I'm like, damn it.
Do you want to spiral?
No, I
downward?
don't. I really fucking don't. I just like. But isn't that funny? Like how you'll get like this little, like a little tap on the shoulder, kind of like, we haven't had a crash out in a while. You want to crash out? You want to? Want to crash out? Yeah. It sometimes when it's like calm, it's just like that feeling when my kids, when it's quiet, and I'm like, what's wrong? What happened?
What's breaking?
Yeah. What's happened?
It's on the work. It's working.
It's because, well, for at least for Tana and I, we grew up in so much chaos that when that doesn't exist, it's very uncomfortable. So it's all of the stuff they say about kids with traumatic upbringings becoming adults, right? And the thing about like how if you have abandonment issues, you sleep with the TV on so that you don't have to feel alone. Oh yeah, 100% me.
I do that.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I think that's part of it too, is that's why when there's a void, it like pulls me backwards, because that is what my nervous system believes is safe.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sleep in silence. Casey does that.
Complete darkness and silence.
Couldn't be in no shot. No shot. Hey,
Please.
I need like, it's a whole thing. It's like a ritual. Like I
Yes.
turn that thing on. usually there's something paranormal on the TV, like just for an added level of stress.
Oh, no.
Let's amplify this and feel real homey for a second.
No, for me, it's like, it's not that. Like, it can be like Gilmore Girls or like a cheesy something that I've seen a million times, right? Like, but I just need like the voices of the other people.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was probably like an 800-foot rabbit hole we just went down.
It definitely makes sense. Something you said stuck with me where you like actually show up more 5. I think that's important to call out because I think that some people who learn their number get super attached to one of their wings. And then I even see it sometimes when people post about their type. They'll be like, oh, I'm a 2-wing 3. I'm a like, and I'm like, well, there should be flexibility in all of it, like not just your wings, but everywhere. So I find it really interesting when I see people like getting super attached to one of their wings because that's one of the things that was probably most accessible to explore with some growth in when I first learned about my number, where going to 1 or going to 3 like felt very easy and safe. So it's like, okay, if the idea is that you're all 9 numbers, you're just primarily 1, right? And you want to be more balanced. It's kind of playing around with that instead of being completely attached. I mean, fuck, 3 is like very easy. I can do that all day, every day.
Well, I think that's the idea in all of this, and we talked about this a lot in the last episode too, of the idea is not to put yourself in a box. The idea is not to make this your whole identity. The idea is that this is giving you a window into behaviors, a window into motivation, and that you're using it as the tool to grow through. And it can be very easy with any of these things, Myers-Briggs, DISC, astrology, to make these things part of your identity. But I think it's more important to look at it as this is a way for me to relate to the world and to better understand myself and the role I play in the world.
That's like, because like I've done DISC, all of that. It's like the interesting thing of it's just better understanding yourself. Like, because it's not just like I'm a DC at work and it's like, okay, but there's other like parts of me at my job. Like, you can't just think someone's one thing. And I think that's the nice part about Enneagram for sure is like there's a bigger realm of it because you are all 9 numbers. Everyone's all 9 numbers. It's just learning how you show up in that.
Yeah. I think if you think about like the box that people put themselves in when they learn about their number, we were talking about this just this week with a different assessment tool that's not Enneagram. It's another personality assessment. And looking at the assessment again, like revisiting with it, this other one, not Enneagram, you could have taken, if I took that in a time of stress, I would show up totally different on one of those assessments than I would my Enneagram. If I were in a really good headspace, I would show up really, really different. So I think the danger in all of it is like, again, it's the behavior. It's if I'm super stressed out, I'm going to behave a certain way for probably an extended period of time, no matter what. If I'm at work, if I'm at home, whatever it is, but it's just a behavior. It's not getting at like my core motivation or the trauma of how I became the number that I am. I think it's interesting when people lean so heavily into like DISC and I'm not saying it's wrong. It just doesn't feel like it's deep enough, I guess.
I think when people really attach to what you were saying before too, like wings or whatever, it might be because it's the one of the easier constructs in the Enneagram to really understand. And so that can be part of why. It could also be a lot of times when we talk about wings, we talk about like the good things that come from the wings. And so it can be a way for people to be like, oh, but I have this like good thing that
Like a
comes,
shiny object.
yeah, that comes from this. And you can just as easily take on like the crap stuff from your wings as the good stuff. So sometimes it's even looking at it through the lens of like, well, maybe maybe I'm thinking of it through this positive lens, and actually I'm leaning really heavy into like the negative behavior of a 4, of being like really judgmental and like, why aren't you deep enough? And like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I only wish that you could just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you sometimes? The 8 will appreciate this.
I wish it was socially acceptable.
Yes. Yeah, wouldn't that be
Like,
so great? The 8. She's like, it is if you just do it.
Ooh, I'm not sure I can. Do a lot.
I experienced this, like, how 8 can be very accessible to me in times of stress. We're going through some challenges with my first grader and paying attention, and like when the mama bear in me comes out, it's like my 8 husband even is like that's a little bit of an overreaction. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're supposed to be on my side.
Like, you too? He's like, well, if we just think about this in a different, and I'm like, the fuck? Like,
Wait a minute.
there is no
He just goes right down to that 5. We just have to think about it.
Yeah. What's the data? And I'm like, the data is I'm pissed. Like, I am activated. But yeah, you really wish you could be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah.
My face says it sometimes, though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, oh, fix that.
Yeah.
But
I've
that's
got,
okay.
yeah, but I mean, that happens to everybody to a certain extent.
Except at your job when they're like, Laura, you're like, oh, crap.
No, I've done that. I've gotten feedback that's like my body language, the face, like all of it.
Is this COVID would help because you could only see my eyes, but then I was reminded that my eyes talk a lot. And I was like, oh, perfect.
You have no lines in your forehead or your face for your eyes to be doing talking like that. I need.
It's called the John Scowl.
Oh,
We all have it.
Oh, wow.
Usually you can tell.
Oh, wow. The 11s.
The John Scowl. Thanks,
Wow.
Dad.
Wow. Mine's all a body language thing. Like, you probably, you've seen that many times, I think, but
There are times where she shows up and I'll be like, I need you to just like step back.
Your energy is invading my space.
I'll swear.
I literally said that to you like a month ago.
You were like, this is a lot. I'm sorry. As I get closer.
Retreat.
No. There's no noticing anything. Like, it's a tunnel. It's a black tunnel of stress, anger. If everyone would just be more helpful.
I'm going to take my ball and go home.
I do have an 8 thing, Casey. Living with an 8, and how you mentioned the wings is interesting because, and I looked at you at the beginning when she was talking about it, because my husband is a social 8, and at work he's like the go-to. Like, he's the one where people are like, oh, you're gonna give me sound advice, you're gonna like be the cheerleader guy. And then at home, not the vibe in terms of wing. Like, he will, I think it's more like 7 energy, but it's bad 7 energy. It's like, fuck it. It's like, well, I can't do anything about it anyway, so whatever. And then there's some sort of dark humor laced in there somewhere. So between work and home, in terms of 8, like when you're at work and more 9 shows up, right? What does that look like? Is it, so it's high side of 9?
What would that be like again? I don't spend a lot of time thinking about 9 other than
What would that be
that I
like?
say. Yeah. I mean,
Well, we could call the 9 in here and we could ask him what that would be like.
yeah.
I think that
Cookie Hiroshima that she sent them to me.
Yes. He is making my recipe. Thanks.
So I think
Thanks,
that
Karen.
the high side of 9 is like very objective, right? It's very like, I see all sides. I'm not going to take sides. It's also very like non-judgmental. the high side of 9 is like all the things that we all want to be able to be all of the time. And like peaceful and like not worked up about shit.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
would say I try to do that at school. I do that at school. I mean, in my role as a school counselor, like you have to be like neutral, and because kids are coming to you with emotions and things, and you're like, okay, we're just dealing with this. That's fine. Like I don't react to them. I'm not like, what are you doing? Get your shit together. There are times where I want to. I'm like, you're having the same friend conflict again for the 100th time? Okay. But instead it's like, no, okay, let's work through this. Let's use our strategy. And I would say like with adults and in meetings, it's, just being again neutral and like common ground. I prefer other people's opinions and like taking them in. And then in true educator fashion of what's best for the kid, and like trying to take your feelings and emotions out of it. So I guess that's how the 9 comes out at school, because I like I'm able to step back more because it's not my life. Like I don't have emotional reactions to things at school often because I'm like, oh, they're like 8, they're gonna be freaking out and that's okay. Yeah. I mean, do I look at them with the teacher look every once in a while? Yes. What are you doing?
Well, do you think then with the 6, like in the medical field, that like that's the vibe? Because I get everything you're saying from like a requirement for like the situation.
I mean, I feel like the 6 of me tries to plan for everything possible that's going to happen. You can't plan for everything possible that's going to happen in my job. And especially in the role that I'm in, like I am always anticipating because I am in charge of 7 other nurses, but there's like a level you just can't. I think that's like sometimes where I go to like the 5 side where I'm like, okay, let's get all of the information possible. Like I'm like obsessively always like checking charts, checking the ER census, like seeing if I have any like of my service waiting somewhere. It's like because I'm trying to be as prepared as possible for what could happen, but I can't.
Interesting. So you go 5. So you go 5 because the data is what's going to help you in that moment. And there's nothing else you can count on.
Not really. No.
Huh. That's interesting.
I mean, there is a comfort in the facts. Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't think I go 7 at all at work.
I feel like it's really hard in your profession to just go 7.
Correct.
I would appreciate under your care that you not go 7 when I am in your responsibility. I love a 6.
She's like,
I think
stay at the 5.
If I am ever in an emergency situation and I am with it enough, I'll be like, do you know your Enneagram?
I would like a 1 or a 6, please.
Can I order a 1 with a 6 with a side of 8, please? Thank you.
Well, I think that's like an interesting part that like I do go very 8 sometimes. I have to in like emergent situations. Like I am yelling things at people, telling them what to do, and sometimes they're a little alarmed, and it's like too bad.
That'd be funny to watch, I think.
You don't think they think it's funny?
Probably not.
I mean, maybe from the outside, like fly on the wall, it would be funny. Maybe not even fly on the wall. Maybe retrospectively would be funny. In the moment, it might be a little traumatic.
Maybe.
I doubt any of my coworkers listen to this, but yeah, there was a situation, and I like looked at them, and I was like, "You can leave now," and they were just like, "But it was like, I don't need you. Like you're in the way. I don't need you here anymore. You can leave now."
Oh.
I do feel like that's like we attribute that kind of thing to an 8, but I feel like 6s can all. I know some other 6s who can very much be like, no, we're done.
Okay, perfect.
I definitely have seen some 6s that are very direct. Very direct.
Because they plan for what needs to happen. They know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that, but then it's like not only did they plan, but they've experienced it before. Like if it's that kind of a situation. I've had to be in a mediation type conversation with a 6 before where they'd been in a very similar situation with a very similar individual, but not the same. And I remember asking like some stupid question, like some stupid thought-provoking question, like to challenge the fact and be like, but what if that's not true? And I saw her probably like
her head spun around.
like roll up her sleeves and be like, what? Oh my God.
Tana's like, what if we just assume positive intent?
Literally. I think I said something like that. I think I said like, but that would happen if it were a better scenario. What if the reason they did that was this instead of that? And she,
All right. What else do we want to say about wings? Anything? We got anything to say about wings? This might be our least coherent podcast ever. We'll see.
Anything that happens when you put 4 people.
fact face.
Well, and because, we picked the topic 10 minutes before we started.
That's the norm. That's the norm. We just added more people into the chaos of what this is. But hey, we got a gist of it. I think that wings are important as a construct of the Enneagram. Just like with everything else, don't become completely attached to it and the behaviors that show up for each number. Because I did not do my disclaimer, this is about core motivation and not behaviors, folks. So, anything else you guys would add about wings?
I don't think so.
No. This is episode 44, I think. I think it's 44. I might be wrong.
Amazing.
It might be 43. Don't quote me. I can't remember.
Both of your reactions watching you like be identical.
But that's wild. Like we
All 9 numbers. 44.
Well, just turned 44.
Yeah.
44th episode.
I think it is the 44th.
I feel like Taylor Swift. Man.
She's going to go look.
Is it 44th episode?
Wow, I love that.
There we go. Something special. We're just missing Danny.
Oh, she's going to be very sad.
We could like put a click of her hand right here. Yeah. She could fit in between.
Except for anybody who's listening to this and not watching it, that would make no sense. This is great.
Just rabbit hole real quick. So I was getting my hair done today and we were talking about podcasts and my hairstylist was like, so I was telling someone that I was watching a podcast the other day and she looked at me funny and I was like, wait, but it's so fun to watch a podcast. And she's like, I know, right? I was like, yeah. So you should watch it because then you get to experience all 4 of us together.
And I put makeup on for that.
And
And 3 of us together.
We got our hair done. We're
just me. Not. It's fine.
It's 44.
This is 44.
I
I really don't care. It's fine. I would say I have no one to impress, but that might offend Aaron.
apparently he tried a new hairstyle and Holly said no.
It was this is not for real. It's like that I got out of the shower and like my hair's like over it. I was like, no, what are you like, what? And then he made a comment about how he couldn't pull off whatever the look was because his hairline wasn't as far down as Paul's.
Oh.
You two would get that. Tana won't get that, but
I think I know who Paul is.
he might. He has great hair.
Great hair.
Oh, I know.
It's like
It's like Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just not even fair.
yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Like, subscribe, follow, interact, comment.
But not on Facebook.
But
Not
not-
on Facebook,
and then on Facebook.
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. What did I miss?
We're-
Nothing.
TikTok, Instagram.
Yes.
Dang. Boom.
Hired.
Drop.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Well, this was fun.
See you later.
See you later.
See you next week.